It is a very active day along the coast as Matthew continues to churn along the Atlantic coast right now. Weather here very pleasant, but the Category 3 storm continues to work its way along the area. We'll track it coming up for you.
Hurricane Matthew is pounding Florida's east coast as it moves north. We're going to have the latest on the Category 3 storm ahead for you at 4.
Some volunteers with the Red Cross from here in central Kentucky are headed down south to help those impacted by Hurricane Matthew.
This is WKYT News at 4.
Welcome to WKYT News at 4. I'm Amber Philpott reporting. We may be enjoying wonderful weather here, but we are keeping a close eye on the southeast where Hurricane Matthew is roaring up the Florida coast. We want to check in with meteorologist Jim Caldwell for the very latest. Jim?
And it still is a Category 3, a major hurricane moving along the coast right now as it continues to whip those winds in there around the center of circulation close to 115 miles per hour. One of the saving graces that we have been tracking the past day or so has been the fact that it has been a little more off the coast. Now, it's certainly bad down there, but the main action and the best concentration of winds has remained just off into the Atlantic, as expected. Right now, as I mentioned, Category 3 storm winds at 115 miles per hour. They are in that eye wall right there, the strongest portions of it, and it continues to move off of the north at around 12 miles per hour. Again, had a little bit of an easterly jog earlier, so it kind of pulled away even more so from the coast. Clouds in eastern Kentucky are now showing up from Hurricane Matthew. And guess what else might be showing up? A chance of a stray shower or two, so it will certainly impact us, at least in that way. Here's the latest track from the National Hurricane Center. They have another update coming out in about an hour, so the 5 o'clock update will probably change a little bit, but will be very subtle changes. So you see, by 1 o'clock in the morning, so tonight, going into Saturday, we are looking at a Category 3 storm about to make impact there, close to Charleston, South Carolina, then getting caught up with our front as we head through the rest of your Saturday. The same one's going to change our weather and redirecting it back out to sea. You've been seeing this track for the past few days, and it stays the same with that big flip all the way back toward the south. So a lot of active weather out there, again, along the coast at this point. Now, we'll track it with some of our other tools, and we'll also track our weather around here because it is super nice here and gets a little bit cooler into the weekend. I'll break it all down coming up, Amber.
Jim, thank you. As he just mentioned, Hurricane Matthew is churning along Florida's east coast with more than 100-mile-per-hour winds. And as part of the Sunshine State still brace for impact, Georgia and the Carolinas are now preparing for what's to come this weekend. Diane Gallagher reports. It's our top story at 4.
Fierce winds, gushing waters, and flying debris. Hurricane Matthew whipped central Florida's coast Friday morning, battering areas like Daytona Beach and St. Augustine with more than 100-mile-per-hour winds. And as northeastern Florida now braces for impact,
we're very focused on Jacksonville. There's potential for significant flooding there.
Coastal communities in Georgia, South Carolina, and North Carolina are also on notice as Hurricane Matthew continues on its path.
Storm force winds that are affecting the state of Georgia and will continue to do so, we're told, for about the next 24 hours.
It is getting worse, and so we are looking at major storm surges. We're looking at major winds.
The greatest impact in North Carolina will be Saturday through Sunday morning.
President Obama is urging residents in those areas to be on guard.
Those of you who live in Georgia, I think, should be paying attention because there's been a lot of emphasis on Florida, but this thing is going to keep on moving north through Florida into South Carolina. There are large population centers there that could be vulnerable.
I'm Diane Gallagher in Jacksonville reporting.
One of the hardest hit places was Haiti, where at least 800 people have now been reported dead. Officials expect the death toll to rise as high water begins to recede. Several Kentuckians are headed south to help those impacted by Hurricane Matthew, and 3 Red Cross volunteers from our area are on their way right now. WKYT's Hillary Thornton talked to them this morning before they headed out. She continues our top story team coverage.
Those Red Cross volunteers coming here this morning to the Bluegrass chapter office, getting their assignments then heading off to help those impacted by Hurricane Matthew. Those Red Cross volunteers are just some of the many Kentuckians helping those in need, like these linemen sent by the Davis H. Elliott Company to help restore power to a Florida news station caught up with as they arrived ahead of the storm yesterday.
You have to help others when they're needed. That's why we're here.
David Silver is one of the Red Cross volunteers leaving his home of Richmond, Kentucky today, catching a flight headed to Columbia, South Carolina. There he is expecting to help out in various shelters.
It's got to be traumatic to be forced from your home and having to go 80, 90, 100 miles to safety. I can't imagine that.
Also deploying from Kentucky is retired school teacher Kathy Hoff, a longtime volunteer who has responded to many disasters both here in the U.S. and overseas.
You go down thinking you have all these problems and everything, and you don't really have anything compared to what these people now will be, facing. And so you have to go in with a smile.
The volunteers here at the Red Cross say they are prepared to be away helping for up to 2 to 3 weeks. In Lexington, Hillary Thornton, WKYT.
3 members of the Lexington Fire Department are headed to the storm zone. They are joining Ohio Task Force 1 and will be in Lakeland, Florida by tonight. Remember, you can track Hurricane Matthew and our weather anytime with the WKYT Weather Plus Traffic app. You can download it for free from the app or Google Play stores. We are working on a number of other stories for you on WKYT starting at 4:30. Sam Dick joins us now from the newsroom with a look at some of the news in progress. Good afternoon, Sam.
Good afternoon, Amber. Police are investigating multiple incidents of rocks being tossed off a bridge onto cars and trucks. The Jessamine County Sheriff's Office says between Tuesday and Thursday, rocks were tossed from a bridge over the Kentucky River onto vehicles traveling on US 27 South. Now, police say they're investigating 7 incidents of vehicles being hit by rocks. We'll have more on the investigation on WKYT News coming up tonight at 6 o'clock. A Laurel County man has been arrested for shooting at law enforcement. It happened just before 11:30 last night off of Gooden Lane. That's off of West Dixie Highway in North Corbin. Officers say they were in the area looking for a suspect who had taken off from a Laurel County deputy when Roy Hibbert came out on his porch and fired at police officers. Officers say they suspect that Hibbert was high at the time. They charged him with 4 counts of wanton endangerment. We'll have more on the story ahead on WKYT News at 4:30. And next week, the Kentucky Supreme Court will hear a case out of Lexington. Justices have been asked to decide if a Lexington ordinance banning begging and soliciting on public streets is in violation of free speech, and if criminal penalties can be imposed for violating the ordinance. The case began when Dennis Champion was cited in December of 2014 for holding up a homemade sign asking for money at News Circle in Georgetown. The court is scheduled to hear the case next Friday at 9 a.m. We'll have more on the case ahead on WKYT News at 6 o'clock. That's a look at some of the news in progress on this Friday. Amber, back to you.
Sam, thanks so much. Keeneland's annual fall meet gets underway today, and it is a big year for Keeneland. The track is celebrating 80 years of racing. WKYT's Caitlin Sentner is at Keeneland with a look ahead to today's opening meets.
It's a day many Kentuckians have looked forward to, and as I look around, Keeneland opening day is packed. It's a gorgeous opening day at the track, and this year is a special one. Keeneland celebrates 80 years in the bluegrass this year. Races started just after 1 o'clock this afternoon. People are, of course, keeping an eye on the horses and looking to win some money. They're eating good food and just enjoying the atmosphere that is Keeneland in the fall.
We bet on horses. We have a big group that comes down from Cincinnati every year, 56 of my closest friends. We get a bus together, come down, we tailgate. We like to play games the whole way down.
We do like gambling. We like to bet money. Mostly we like the atmosphere, the people watching. It's just a good vibe.
I only come a couple times a year, and so I'm a novice bettor, and I just come to enjoy the horses and follow the handicappers' picks, read the program a little bit, and see if I get lucky.
And do you get lucky sometimes?
Every once in a while. But if I just go home with a little bit of money, I'm happy.
Certainly still a lot of excitement as we near the end of the first day at Keeneland. The last race starts at 6:05 in Lexington. Caitlin Sentner, WKYT.
There is nothing like a beautiful fall day at Keeneland. The UK football Keeneland shuttle will be back tomorrow. Lextran will offer a shuttle between Commonwealth Stadium and Keeneland for only $1 each way. How much could Hurricane Matthew cost our economy? We'll take a look in Money Watch. And when it comes to holiday flights, you might want to start thinking about Christmas now. More on the best time to buy your tickets after the break.
Keep up with the latest news on WKYT.com. Join the conversation on Twitter and become a part of the WKYT Facebook family.
Welcome back in. Hurricane Matthew could cost the U.S. economy more than $25 billion, and some analysts think it could be a lot more than that. That begins today's Money Watch. Thousands of flights have been canceled. Many restaurants and stores in Florida and the Carolinas are closed, and for only the fourth time in its history, Walt Disney World in Orlando is closed today. If you are planning to fly for Christmas this week, may be the best time to buy that ticket. That's according to the airline prediction app Hopper that found the cheapest flights for Christmas travel can be found 80 days before departure, and that is right now. They also found prices this week are about 12% lower than last year's prices. Snapchat's parent company Snap could be going public as soon as next March. The Wall Street Journal says the company could be valued at $25 billion or more, which would make it the biggest company to go public in the U.S. since Alibaba in 2014.
It's the history and mystery of the Kentucky Horse Park. I'm Deanne Stevens, out and about with a preview of the cemetery crawl when we return here on WKYT.
And we are still tracking, of course, Matthew along the East Coast, but we've got a frontal boundary that rolls in here this weekend that brings change to us, and it also deflects Matthew from the U.S. I'll break it all down coming up.
Now, your zone-by-zone forecast with meteorologist Jim Caldwell.
Matthew rolling along the east coast of Florida right now, and will continue to turn up toward the north and northeast here soon and roll across Georgia, South Carolina, and North Carolina. Let's get right to it, see what the latest information is. There will be another update coming out soon. And as Matthew has gotten closer to the coast and has been hanging out here, it loses some of its strength. Keep that in mind, because it's just running into the ground there into Georgia and Florida. So when you start running into that resistance, that drag or that friction, it'll weaken the storm, which it has, because you're talking about a Category 4 storm yesterday, now down quite a bit. Here's what we have: 115 miles per hour there, Category 3 storm moving north at 12 miles per hour. That jog and that little push toward the northeast is expected to come, though, here soon. Let me show you what else we've got going on out there. We've got a frontal boundary that is going to be interacting with us here. However, what that front's going to do is it's going to defer or deflect this storm off the East Coast here in the coming days. So while it brings us a big-time change in the weather around here and knocks our temperatures down, it also kind of helps things out. You get to this time of year and you get these big, potent fall fronts. They are just surging with energy and very cool air, and when you have that, they can push pretty much anything they want in and out of the atmosphere. So it's a big blast of cooler air for us, and it also will be kind of the saving grace to keep this storm from just hanging out on the coast or making it even further inland. Not that that was ever an issue, but this front certainly kind of backs it up. This is our hour-by-hour radar, and you can see the center of circulation still just off to the east there of Jacksonville at 4 o'clock right now. It's a high-resolution radar image, too, of the future of what it could very well look like here soon. Continuing to wrap that rain in. There you see the center of circulation. And by 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock tonight, it starts to make that more northeasterly turn, as you see there, but still pumping in very heavy rains into South Carolina, back towards Savannah, Georgia as well. This is 1 o'clock in the morning, and then will continue to move its way on up toward the north and east. And at the same time, starts throwing in that rain chance across parts of eastern Kentucky as well. So we could, in fact, see some rain into the mountains that is directly associated with Hurricane Matthew. So got a small risk of that happening out there tonight. So as we track those tropical rains, that area looks like it's going to be the best location to run into a stray shower or two tonight and into the early morning hours tomorrow morning as well. So a little more active in that case as far as seeing true tropical rains from it. All right, let's jump over to our 7-day forecast, show you what's happening with it, because it's going to be very pleasant around here. Got a small chance of rain, but I think we're in pretty good shape. You go beyond that and those temperatures are very cool and very comfortable. All right, let's see what's going on with Officer Don and the traffic situation out there. Oh, and I'll go ahead and just give you the traffic situation. How about that? We are looking pretty good out there overall. No major issues are showing up. Now, it's normal slow go in some of those sections that you'll run into slow go this time of day. Some of the speeds out there looks like to Winchester is one that's being impacted a little bit down, just a little. It'll take you about 27 minutes to get there from here in Lexington. Amber?
You're a man of many talents, Jim. Thank you. Looking for something spooky yet fun to do on this first Friday of October. Deanne Stevens is out and about today. She joins us from the Kentucky Horse Park with an idea. Hi, Deanne.
Hey, good afternoon, guys, from the Kentucky Horse Park, where it is time for a cemetery crawl. And they're like, what is a cemetery crawl at the Kentucky Horse Park? Ashley Chilton is here with us to explain what is happening. It's a Friday night kind of fun, right?
Right, exactly.
What are you guys doing with the cemetery crawl?
We're going to take people around, guests around from the outskirts of the park,
right?
And just show them a little something different they don't get to ordinarily see. So we're going to talk about dueling, and we're going to look at human cemeteries and cholera and all kinds of fun, creepy things.
Well, I was going to say, this is just in time, obviously, for Halloween. You guys are doing this every weekend. Talk about, this is an opportunity for people to see a little bit a different side of the Kentucky Horse Park. Here, tell people where we are now in front of Man of War.
So right now we're at the Isaac Burns Murphy Man of War Memorial. This is actually where Man of War is buried. He died in 1947, and when the park opened in 78, they brought his body to rest here. He also has some of his offspring. He does have 2 offspring up here. Right. War Admiral, the Triple Crown winner, and then we have a few other of his offspring here as well. And then Isaac Murphy is on that side.
Is it pitiful that I've been out here, I can't tell you how many thousands of times, and I've never seen how beautiful this fountain area is? And that just goes to show there's so many areas that folks haven't had the opportunity to see. And with this cemetery crawl, albeit sounds a little creepy, it is a great opportunity for you to come see the beautiful Kentucky Horse Park and a little bit of the history and mystery of the horse park as well. How do folks get tickets?
They need to call the front desk, the visitor center. It's 859-259-4213, and just ask to set up reservations for the cemetery crawl, and they'll get them taken care of.
Kicking things off tonight here at the Kentucky Horse Park, running through each and every weekend up until Halloween. And from what I understand, tickets are selling out. So get yours now for the Kentucky Horse Park Cemetery Crawl. I'm Deanne Stevens, out and about. Back to you guys. That's scary, isn't it?
Still ahead in Better Living, there's a way to battle the pain of arthritis without drugs. And we'll find out more about why people are living longer these days. Stay with us. Tonight's Mega Millions jackpot is $41 million, and tomorrow's Powerball jackpot is $91 million. It is time now for Better Living, health, education, and consumer news that impacts your life. An important recall for new parents. Summer Infant is recalling their infant bathtub slings due to a risk of drowning. The baby product company says 86,000 fabric slings are being voluntarily recalled over missing attachment clips. So far, no serious injuries or drownings have been reported. The recall affects sling and tub sets sold between October of 2012 and October of 2013 at major retailers like Toys R Us and Babies R Us and online. More Americans are now living with arthritis pain. Almost 15 million American adults have arthritis with severe joint pain. The CDC says that's about 4 million more people than in 2002. Medical experts say severe joint pain can limit arthritis patients' ability to function. They recommend education and physical activity as the most effective ways to reduce or manage arthritis pain without the use of drugs. West Virginia has the most smokers in the United States, and Utah has the least. That's according to the latest data from the CDC. Nearly a third of adults in West Virginia currently smoke cigarettes or use smokeless tobacco. In Utah, it's just over 11%. Globally, life expectancy has increased from 62 years to nearly 72 years over the last quarter century. A new study credits the increase to improvements in sanitation, nutrition, and immunizations. But researchers say future progress is being threatened by the health problems posed by obesity, diabetes, alcohol, and drug use. Pet owners are now able to use new technology to get a better overall picture of their animal's health. That includes pet trackers that help ensure your dog or cat is getting enough exercise. Chris Martinez shows us how it works.
Of all the animals dog walker David Levin takes out daily, none are more precious to him than his golden retriever, Mark. David keeps tabs on Mark's daily exercise with an activity tracker.
Helps me keep him active, make sure I'm caring for him as much as he cares for me.
Pet owners are increasingly turning to activity trackers to monitor their animal's health. San Francisco-based Whistle makes one of the market's most popular devices.
Every blue dot is an animal wearing this.
That's correct.
It attaches to an animal's collar and sends information to the owner's smartphone, like stats on the pet's weight and how much time it's getting outdoors. All that can then be shared with the vet. Other brands include Paw Tracker, Pet Pace, and Nuzzle.
Good boy, handsome man.
According to the American Animal Hospital Association, most dogs in the U.S. don't get enough exercise. More than 40% are overweight, 25% are obese.
Both dog owners and cat owners are taking their pets to the vet less frequently. And the goal with Whistle is really to bring that day-to-day awareness about your pet's health and their safety to the forefront.
David says Mark's tracker also includes GPS.
I know that if he wanders off, I'm going to be able to find him.
It's peace of mind he calls invaluable. Chris Martinez, CBS News, San Francisco.
Research shows the pet tracker industry is estimated to top more than $2 billion over the next 5 years. All right, let's head over to Jim for another check of our weather and how jealous of we are of all those people at Keeneland today.
Oh, would it have been a great day to be out there. Tomorrow, even though it's cooler, might even be a better day with temperatures mid and upper 60s. It's a beautiful day here in Kentucky, across the entire Commonwealth. I mean, you're going to find plenty of sunshine mixing with clouds, especially in eastern Kentucky now, but overall, a great looking day. It's 82 degrees here in Lexington right now. Humidity's at 38%, meaning that it is bone dry out there. We actually need a little bit of rain to try to balance things out here. Look at the picture here from eastern Kentucky. This is our Defender Radar Network. You see some of the showers creeping over into Pike County, Letcher, Harlan. Those are showers directly attached to Matthew. So we are seeing some impact out of that right now, and of course the cloud cover as well. But overall, not a major issue weather-wise for us around here. Should stay nice and calm throughout the rest of the evening for most of us. That's all we got here at 4 o'clock. We've got a whole lot more coming up at 4:30, including more on Matthew.